At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Ja.
My name is Abina Johnson, and this is Focus on Liberia. Hit it! From Cape Mount to Cape Palmer, Mount Nimba to Atlantic Ocean, Obomi Hills to Bokondre, to educate, elevate, and promote. Yeah, focus on Liberia, for Liberia, Liberia, for Liberia, yeah. From Monday to Sunday, from Monday to Sunday, it's Focus on Liberia. Talk about home affairs, in diaspora, current affairs, reliable information, history, talking about culture, politics, education, entertainment, business, sports, advertisement, articulation. Focus on Liberia. Focus on Liberia. Focus on Liberia. From Monday to Sunday. Focus on.
Do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. That was the Liberia, the AFL band, the great band of the Republic of Liberia military. When you hear that song, it's time to go out there and drill and salute, and we call it, right, that's right. We go out there. Dr. Booty used to get it right. He used to miss it every time, forget about Victor number. He never got it right, not once. Not twice. He never got it right when he was at Tottenham High School. So they would put them at the line, or all the schools line up. The schools that missed the area the most, they put them in the back. So Tottenham High, forget about Dr. Booty and Nima County, they are way back. We are talking about when the band is passing by the city hall, Dr. Booty they're already by the army barrel, they just coming. Let me work on the crew. Our most intelligent, well-rounded, analytical folk. Say it as they are. They don't care whether it hurts your feeling. If it's the truth, it's the truth. There's nothing you can replace the truth with. If you lie, truth crushed to the ground will always bounce back up. So they are here. It's about facts. It's about numbers. It's about dates and time. It's about, we're talking about citations. You're doing English 101. That's what they call it, MLA style. You have to cite. You got to show your citation, who you are quoting. So here we are today. We are on Focus on Liberia. We have a lot to talk about. We will be talking about the president of the Republic of Liberia went somewhere. I don't know where. It couldn't have been Turkey because Turkey was hosting the NATO alliance. And only invited guests were allowed. You have to be part of the alliance. The last time I checked, Liberia was not part of NATO. So obviously, Joseph Boakai did not go to the NATO alliance. So we will find out when he came, someone asked him at the airport, Mr. President, people say you go to these places and they are just for nothing, you bring nothing back. Where he said, I'll leave it with them. And he walked away. President took 3 questions. The one that pissed him off is the one that asked him, you go to all the trip, you come back, your credit says it's nothing but MOU after MOU after MOU. He checked the man out. He said, I'll leave it with them. So let me welcome our panelists, our guest, Dr. Booty from way across the ocean. Great Britain, welcome to the show.
Yeah, Mr. Gayman, thank you for the welcome. Good to be here. Hopeful for another thought-provoking afternoon on your side and evening on my side.
Excellent. Let me welcome the progressive, Mr. Victor Nambi. The white people call you Nambi. Mr. Nambi, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Gayman. Good to be here. And let me make emphatically clear. William V.S. Tottenham School, we issue on everybody on every flag day. And it almost always rained on those days. And those were the days when we save our little $2 or $3 because after the show in BTC, you will find you and your girl, you'll go to Rivoli and eat that oily cornbread, you got to be able to buy one and also buy a bottle of soda. Or sometimes, Roxy Cinema used to have middle seat, you go the downstairs, then middle seat, and then upstairs, But those were the days, So, yeah, we got our eyes right all the time. That's one thing. No school issue was about. So I'm sure all the cardinals that are listening. In fact, in Tottenham School, we had a motto. Tottenham School is where the brave men went and died. Only the strong survive. You go there where your bravery will eat you raw. And only the strong survived. And that was our motto that we lived through everything we did, whether it was, in observing the flag day or whatever it was. We always ate show. But it's good to be here with you.
Excellent. And if you went to Cara High School or Catholic School, Victor Nambi, it's show on you. Dr. Booty, tell us, where did you go to school? Whether you ever took part in a parade? Don't tell me you went to St. Mary, you went to St. Joseph, because it was show.
Oh my God.
If you went to St. Joseph, they show it show on you. Then
wherever Dr. Booty went, we ate show on him. Anywhere.
Anywhere
you went to school, we ate show on you.
When you were eating show, I probably wasn't even born yet. So
no, you were. We ate show on your dad. That's what we did.
And not only that, but whatever school you went to, they ate show on that school.
My dad actually taught My dad actually taught me high in the
No,
70s.
no. We say where did he go to
Uh,
school and where did
No,
you
you
go
said
to
what?
school?
No, but I'm addressed, Mr. Give me calm down. Mr. Nangbe made a statement, and we're having a fluid conversation. So I'm addressing my connection to Tottenham High. My dad taught at Tottenham High in the 70s. Yeah, but no, I went to Bongtown School. That's where I started my early
Oh,
education,
so
and then
you should have been with Dr. Richardson them today. Are you part of that Becca? Are you aware of it?
no, I'm not. I'm not part
Okay.
of any.
All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
but
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I went to Bongtown school in Bong Mines up until 1990 when the war started. And then I went to Ganta United Methodist School for a while. Came down to Monrovia in '92, I think, and then went to Cumberland Presbyterian School. And then I went to another school called Shoes Factory Community School. And then I went back to Ganta in 1995 for a couple of years back at Ganta United Methodist School, and then came down to St. Peter's Lutheran High School on 14th Street, where I graduated in 1999. So yeah, so those I didn't go to any piano hall school, Mr. Gaiman. So those
Oh,
are the
but
schools.
Mr. Namwe,
You, do you,
all
during
the
your
school.
No, but I didn't. No, honestly, I never took part in All Right. That's one of the things I don't think I ever
during
did. I
your,
didn't do the march.
you remember
No,
our
no,
days we had afternoon school and evening school? You remember?
he went
We
to
had
night
night,
school.
night
No,
school.
but St. Peter
They
Lutheran,
went to
St.
night
Peter
school.
Lutheran. It's a way, Mr. Gaiman. St. Peter Lutheran will have morning and afternoon. I was in the afternoon session. Yeah, I was in the afternoon
But I
session.
tell
Yeah.
you what, all of those schools you just named, when talking about how or marching in Monroe, you would be
We
way.
show.
No. When the time we
Mr.
were
Namwe,
in the 90s,
they were not even part of the show. So you
No.
in the 90s, we issue on Taught Me How. Yeah, in the 90s.
What?
But obviously, Mr. Nangbe's time, yeah, they definitely all the show. But in the 90s, we issue on them.
Yeah, you ate show with that euphoria when nobody was there to testify. They show euphoria. Ladies and gentlemen, we are having a great time. Listen, if you went to high school in Montserrat, Grand Bassa, everywhere you went to school, let us know where you went to high school or elementary school or where we say middle school here, but it's junior high school. Let us know where you went to school so we can see whether Victor Nambe ate on your plate or ate from your
Look,
plate.
Jerome,
Well, but they may issue on everybody. It don't matter where they went to school.
challenge. I'm doing the challenge out there. Anywhere you went to school, we issue on you. Even before you went there, we already issue on your school. Call your school name, I'll tell you.
That's what's up. Mr. Chokba, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Tell us where you went to school in Liberia.
Where I attended the Painesville Community High School.
Oh, the issue on you, man. Jesus.
No, but even me, even St. Peter losing issue on them.
Go ahead. You started off with Painesville Community School, and where else did you
go? Well, I attended the AME Zion University on Benson Street, and
I'm talking about high school, man. We're not talking about university.
When I was in high school, Zion High School was not even university. That wasn't it. Uhuru, I think that was his name.
Well, the space of time does not matter. What matters is the university, right?
Listen to the young bucks.
We are not doing history class here, so
that's what it is. So you went to Painesville Community School.
Painesville Community High School.
Okay.
In Painesville City.
Never heard of it. The issue. Everybody is showing you.
Well, it's unfortunate that you don't know Painesville or Monrovia, because that is the suburb of Monrovia.
We didn't say where it's.
Let me tell you.
Don't say you don't know. You don't know.
I don't know about the high school. Never heard of it.
Let me tell you, Mr. Toba, when I lived on Duba Road. I used to walk right from Painesville High School and go wherever I went. You know, I knew Painesville High School. Del Jella, you probably don't even know Del Jella. Romeo Pia now was in the house.
There's a nice thing the right way. Say I used to walk in from Painesville High School.
Well, yes, because that at the time they had one building, but right now they are separated the compound. So the one right on the Joe Bar is the junior high and elementary.
Okay.
And behind the cemetery is the high school.
Okay.
So the Tubman High School people, they're tuning in already. The Theodosia said
Partner, you're training, you'll bring the heat.
There you go. She graduated from Tottenham High School, so she know what she's talking about. NTNIMA.
There
So
you
man,
go.
she eating shawarma everybody.
You went from Tottenham School to another Tottenham
That's right. That's right. Tottenham all the way. I won't be surprised you're from Maryland County. Ladies and gentlemen, it is good to be alive. Today is Sunday. This is July the 12th, 2026. We have a great show for you. We have great things happening in Liberia. Some are so great they are comical. Like today, the president, when he was returning to Liberia, he had nothing to tell the folks why he went, where did he go, why he didn't travel with the press, not even his own press secretary. There were no photos, there were nothing. These are unusual times in Liberia, but we'll talk about them. But let me welcome Mr. Togba. Mr. Togba, is this your first time on our show?
My very first time.
Okay. So Togba, introduce yourself to our folks, who you are, and we are glad to have you. We would like to know a little bit about Mr. J.G. Togba.
Yes. So I'm Jefferson G. Tukwa, and I am an affiliate of FOL On Africa for the past 4 years, but I've not been so active because of the different engagement. So I thought it wise, since Sunday is one of the days that I'm very much available to make my contribution on issues or topic being trending on the show. So I am Jefferson from Liberia. I am PA, Pennsylvania, and as we jokingly say, I'm a product of ABZ University and also serve as the Speaker of the Student Union Government. And I got my master from OB-GYN Global University, General School of International Affairs, into Master Law and Business. And so my first degree is in Business Administration from Zion.
Excellent, excellent. PA.
Yeah.
There are two PA people here. No, you're the only one. The other guy is from New Jersey. He's right across the border there. He's right Atlanta City. So you get ESO and ESO. In 5 minutes, he's across the border. He's eating on your show. So they may follow you everywhere you go.
I was just in Philly on Friday. So.
Aha. City of brotherly love. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are having a great time. We will be discussing for the next hour, 20 minutes or so, hour 40 minutes, we'll be discussing politics, religion, we'll be talking about families, we'll be talking about everything. But Mr. Nami, let me start with you before we get started. What is on your mind?
Listen, this is kind of off topic, and let me welcome Mr. Togba on set as well. Dr. Budi, what's up? I guess England is seen to through the quarterfinals. As much as I hate West Indies Hurricane, but I hope somebody can bring Argentina down with the richest stuff. But anyway, what is on my mind as we're coming to press the room? I see here Jeremiah Cohn is, apparently he's listening. I think he has gone across the road and has paid a visit to Wilma Payne, the former Minister of Lands. You remember Wilma was out a few days ago. With a blistering attack on the VP, and also, making the case for Nemo and all of that. I mean, I think against Nemo, I'm not sure what it was, but I thought his appearance was very effective. So it looks like the VP has heard his interview, and I'm sure many other comments that he's made. I think that's a smart move on the part of the VP if the reporting is, to be believed. I'm seeing the pictures just as we're coming on. And so if he did that, I want to congratulate, the VP. I mean, if they're coming together, I mean, it will pose a major challenge to Musa ability on the CMC. But notwithstanding, I think a peaceful NIMBA is worth any price, even if it means CMC loses some votes. I think, it is necessary for the leaders to come together because that's how I think any locality, whether it's Nimba or Maryland or Musura, that's the only way you can pay attention to development. So if they did, I want to actually congratulate the VP for doing that, and also Mr. Pay himself for receiving the VP and cutting him. The picture looks very good. So that is on my mind. A lot of things, but I will pass it on back to you.
Good. Let me go to Dr. Budi. Dr. Budi, what's on your mind?
I was hoping that Norway win last night, and unfortunately, I stayed up to watch the game. I was up until about 12:30 almost 1 o'clock, and I was annoyed. But then it is what it is. And yeah, to your point, Mr. Nangwe, I'm conflicted on Wednesday. I'm not sure who I want to support, because as much as I don't want the English national team to go through and win, the Argentinians are very racist as well.
Very.
These guys have basically purged their country of black people. You can't even see any black players on their team. And there are a bunch of Nazis, former Nazis who kind of migrated there, and yeah, but we'll see. By Wednesday, I'm hopefully will make up my mind whom I'll be supporting. Maybe reluctantly, I might support England. We'll see. We'll see what happens. No, but I think, look, this morning, Mr. Gaiman, I woke up to the sad news. And I say sad news, even though I didn't agree with his politics, of the passing of one of your senators, Lindsey Graham. And I thought, apparently he had a sudden illness and then passed away. But I thought it was a sad. It's something I've been reflecting on most of the day. For someone who, he just come back from Ukraine. I think it was. He had been pushing for some more American support to Ukraine in terms of sanctions on Russia, and for him to pass as he has, obviously for the people of South Carolina, I think it is. It is quite a difficult one to take. There were times when I enjoy Lindsey, when some of the things that he would say, especially around about 2016 when he used to go after Donald Trump during the campaign. Obviously, he flipped and became like the Kekura Koto of politicians, right? Hang your clothes where the sun's shining, but I think it's a sad day for the people of South Carolina. I know there are a few Liberians who live out there, and I think America has lost, irrespective of the fact I disagreed with him. Someone who is quite a strong leader in terms of. Now, I know, Mr. Gaiman, you are a Republican, so you would probably have more fondness towards Senator Graham than I do. But it's one of the things. It touched me this morning when I saw it. It was sad and very sudden as well.
Yeah, this is why when you are traveling, especially on long flights, you have to make sure you do your medical checkup before you leave. Usually, before I go to Liberia, I usually visit my doctor. He tells me every 2 hours you got to get up, walk the length of the plane twice. You sit back down. Heavy D, another very popular rap artist of Jamaican parentage, went to Jamaica to perform, and from Jamaica he flew to LA, and the same thing happened to him. A day after he got there, he died from a sudden heart attack, and the autopsy shows that he had a blood clot that traveled from his calf to his brain, and he died. So it is quite possible that on an 18-hour flight, you definitely have to see your doctor every time. I want to believe it was a heart attack. They are saying it's probably a heart attack. It may have been the same thing. Blood traveled from his lower extremities to his heart. And that's all it took. He's only 71, in good shape. He's very active. He's all over the place. But let me go to Towell. What's on your mind?
Well, similarly, I have stuck on my mind. Unfortunately, I really wanted Norway to have won last night, but they did not make it. But it is the game. Sometimes expectation is not what in the direction that you want it to be, and we still have to follow football. But on the last note, the reason why we are here today is because Liberia is on our mind wholeheartedly, from economic, political, social, and everything that happens in our country is what matters most to us. And that's why many of us continue to discuss, whether it's on this kind of platform, whether it's in writing, whether it's making comment. It's just so fascinating that we try to contribute in a way that we expect a country to be run, but we can see most of those things happening, empty promises every day, and SAF have control most of what the substance should be. And so like Doctor said, I was shocking this morning when I look at the page from front page, and I went to different social media pages, verify information source to know that he's gone. And we are here today, and we never know where we're going to go. But history will always tell us that tough facts will come out and say this is what it is. And we have different means that we can leave this earth. But we must impact the earth meaningfully that when we have gone, we can be remembered in so many great ways. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent, gentlemen, ladies. Liberia today is the beginning of the week. So usually what we do an entire weekend review, everything we have covered from last Monday to yesterday. Today we'll tie it all in, and we will have you opine. Send us your opinion, your thoughts in the comment section. Let us know where you're tuning in from so we can send a shout out to all your folks in the neighborhood. I see the folks from the PA in the house, Pennsylvania in the house, Mr. Tobasi, Christopher Wrotti, Tobasi. Jesus Christ. Your crew people, your knee is so long. Why? You're people from the Southeast or something else. But anyhow, we are from, I'm from the one of the oldest high schools in the country. Second oldest high school in the nation, Vassar High School, 1902. That is the institution that was number 2 in the country beyond, right next to College of West Africa. So we go all the way back. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, we are having fun with our high schools. Those of us that went to permanent high schools, historical high schools, we are eating at the expense of Pinsville Junior High School and high school, at the expense of Beaumont School. I don't know, Beaumont School came to be maybe 1971 or 72. So, you know, they are just walking. They are walking babies. They got no history. They got no history. Beaumont. You got no history. We eat on your show. We eat show on your network. We eat show everywhere you go. But guys, this is where we are. It's fun. Wherever you went to high school, they prepare you to be where you are today. So absolutely, they did an excellent job preparing you, and you are an ambassador of your school wherever you went to high school or elementary school. They help bring you to where you are. So we are proud to represent our schools. Yes, even if you didn't graduate, but it's still considered your alma mater. Okay, guys, let's go to home base. There's a lot going on in Liberia. Honorable Nambe talked about current event. Obviously, the vice president has been under attack. Usually, the vice president says, I don't pay them, and my critics will say what they have to say. It is part of the game. So I will not respond. I will not even dignify the critic. So Dr. Booty, the vice president, on a heavy bombardment, finally decided to go and suggest a peace conference, trying to silence one of the most vicious critics of our time against him. The man has integrity. He has some gravitas to have the president waving the white flag and saying, let's smoke the peace pipe. What is the vice president saying? What do you read in his gesture?
Well, I think I'll take the line that Mr. Nangbe took. I think it's more in terms of let's wait and see what the outcome will be. Yes, it might seem like something prominent in terms of him taking himself over to have a conversation. We're on the outside, we're not flies in the room on the wall, so we don't know what conversations are happening. In our culture, sometimes him going there does not necessarily mean that he's going there for peace talks. He might be going there to basically talk down to this guy, like, oh, I'm the elder statesman from the county, you shouldn't be doing this and blah blah blah. So we don't know if he is going there, however, to humble himself and to have a honest, respectful conversation with Mr. Pei, then that can only bode well for the county. Like Mr. Nangbe said, Mr. Nangbe and I both have connections to him through his wife. Me having spent a lot of time there, having most of my family born there as well. And that would be good for Nema County because, a strong and united Nema is important. for the success of the county itself, but to have the influence it has had on the Liberian presidential elections over the years. So yeah, I think it's a case of waiting and seeing what's going to happen. Let's hope that when the conversation ends, that something will come out, either a joint communication from both gentlemen saying that, look, we had an honest conversation, a respectful conversation. We're on this page or that page. We expect this thing or that thing. This is how we hope to work together going forward. We hope to hear something like that. And then we can start to pass judgment on what the vice president did or what he is doing in terms of how what the merits of it will be. But until such a time, then no, I think it's speculation mostly, Mr. Gaiman. I can't really give anything definitive apart from let's wait and see. Uh, you're muted, Mr. Gaiman.
Jan Moboro said, for a split second, she thought I said I went to Bassa High School in 1902. Absolutely, I went to Bassa High School.
Yeah, but Gaiman, yeah, you know, Mr. Gaiman, oh.
I did go to Bassa High School in 1902. and left from there in 1980.
You probably attended William V. Stockman.
Tubman was born I think 1895. So yeah, we was 7 years old, and we were there together. I don't know why he left so early, but I got him back. Victor, talk to us about you mentioned it, but it's your turn to expand on what you said about the vice president waving the white flag.
Yeah, I mean, these kinds of things for public figures, Dr. Booty is intimating. If you're in the public glare, nothing you do is private. So you would think there will be a public readout on some of these things to give a little bit more detail. Maybe it is forthcoming. But the point that I'm making is, in Liberia, we say when two elephants fight, right? You know what happens to the grass and little trees around? They suffer. I think the two powerful people, yes, the VP is the second most powerful man in the country. The most powerful man, number one, in Nimba. Wilmot Pay has a lot of clout as well. I mean, he went through the ranks from Secretary General UP, became party chairman. I think he was associated with Dr. Cassell Party, and I think he's on his way to. So people listen to him too. And so when he came publicly out the way he did, I thought it was not a good sign for Nimba. And so, yeah, two great sons of Nimba. I think if they can find the time, to smoke the peace pipe, I think that's a good thing. So I'll leave it to what Dr. Booty said. We'll wait to see, for the details to emerge. I'm sure one of them would tell us what it was that was, or maybe we'll see what will happen over the next few days or so, maybe weeks or months. There might be, follow up, whatever is happening. We don't know how that's going to be. But that the VP, I think he has a lot of base building to do. As we have said here multiple times. I honestly, I'm not in his inner circle, so I don't know what his constituency is. I mean, he cannot claim UP to be his constituency, and it's difficult for him to claim MDR because Koga is there. Koga is sitting on top of MDR, so it's Cooper. So he has to form himself a base, and I think this will be one of the best ways he can do it. I think he should dispense with the big boy thing, and I don't think it makes him look any small to go and make the move to mend fences. With his compatriots, Wilmer Pay is pretty formidable. So the pictures alone, like I said, they look good, and I think for once I have to give the vice president credit because what I'm reading is he actually initiated. He went to Wilmer Pay's village to meet with him. I think that's a good thing. It's a good thing for Nimba because I think if they're all united or talking. I think it will be easier for development talks to emerge. But right now, if they are button heads, I think Nimba suffers. So I think for this, I think Nimba wins. So as I pass it back on, let me talk to Dr. Booty a little bit about Lindsey Graham. We don't speak ill of the dead. So I will give him, is deserving, kind words for departing so early, so abruptly. But he's a sellout. This guy was in the ranks of John McCain. John McCain's best buddy. You understand me? Making all the right moves along with John McCain. John McCain, war hero, who Trump said he doesn't respect and all of that. And he's on record, 2016, using all of the correct negative adjectives that applied to Trump, risk bidder, and all of that. John McCain leaves, Trump goes into the White House, and Lindsey Graham becomes his number one fan, his cheerleader. He calling Trump now the gold standard for Republican Party and all of that nonsense. So really, I think he's been dead a long time ago. I think politically he's been dead. So yeah, he's physically gone, and may his soul rest in peace. But he's a sellout. He was, even while he was still walking around on earth here. And I'm not surprised that his own Republican brother sitting here is not even saying nothing about him, because he stood for nothing in his last days. But may his soul rest in peace.
Victor Nambi, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. You are just president of VP in Nima County that flip-flop, and you call him a gentleman. It's the right thing to do. He did things as a statesman. Then you flip in the same second and say, Lindsey Graham, by calling somebody who was adversarial to him, to going out and smoking the peace pipe, and looking at what this man had done, what Trump has done for Western society, Western civilization. No other president has done that other than Donald J. Trump. Mr. Toba,
I think you're going to say at least one of those. Yeah, I think you're going to say at least one of those things. But anyway, look, what I just said is complicated for a guy who went to high school in 1902. I can understand that.
Listen, I'm gonna call my classmate, President Totman, come and tell you guys what we did during those days. I can say anything because nobody was around 1902 to
That's
teach
right.
what I say. I can tell you what the principal and the student council president at the same time. You can't say anything. Mr. Togba, let's talk about the vice president. The vice president has been under attack from all angles. I think what he's trying to do is deflect. This is a distraction because Rodney Sear has been on his behind from day one, that you have to give an account of these photographs with all these drug dealers, the drug kingpin. You are taking photographs, intimate photos in your home, in their private homes and everywhere else. The heat is on, and he tried to deflect. He's not trying to smoke no peace pipe. He's trying to get Rodney Sear to change the front pages of the paper. I think that's what he's trying to do.
Well, I think as a leader, he has more to gain or loss, because a leader should be able to be an example of society that they lead, and people must follow you, and you should not be a follower of people. And one thing he has done is try to mend the broken pieces that have fallen apart, because he allowed his follower to speak more than what he thought that could bring peace, because many people in our society today believe that Nema is untouchable, and there are many formidable forces are coming out in Nema County today. And by large extension, I think Nema is fully divided right now. Coca is on disagreement on so many issues that are happening, and with Wilmer Pay being the latest also. And I just want to tap on what most of the two panelists already said. In politics and national leadership, you must be careful what you do, because there is no separate two-person on one individual identity. You cannot be a private person at the same time a public servant, or you cannot be a private person in your home while you serve the general public. So anything you do, your private life does not matter. What matters is to get come to the people that you serve and who impose their trust in you to be a leader. Being a number one, a number two person in our country today, to let people who are not a policy maker to be the one speaking, writing on your behalf in situations that require a critical response, and how you could be indicted easily or broadly putting on the boss for no obvious reason. And so, from this drugs issue, a very care should be taken by the vice president and other senior government officials to know how they associate and follow up do representatives on public issues that are affecting the larger society, that are damaging our young populations, that we should be succeeding them tomorrow. So, and if and only if it is true that he are going to make peace or to speak with his brother or a citizen of the country, it is a right thing in the right direction, because we have experienced a lot of bitter past, and I think bitterness does not make us to gain anything. And what we should be doing now on the national scene, that everyone who love peace and love Liberia, is to make sure that peace prevail in everything we do, and all our operations should be peaceful. And drugs is nothing that we can take lightly in our society to any part of the world, because we know the cost is make to many potential contributor to our economy. Seeing people dying from drugs, people getting minority, people losing their senses, going into mental depressions. These are hard times for Liberia, and the vice president associates himself allegedly with people who have been pointed to as associated to the drugs invasion in our country today. Is a sad thing, and we think a better care should be taken from what we see today going forward, because we do not want a country where people we expect a lot from to be the one doing the least in our society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me welcome Aliu or Kamara. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Mr. Given.
Excellent, excellent. Here we are. We got two things going at the same time. After we talk about the vice president's issue, we are going to be going to current event in Liberia. We'll be talking next about the freedom of prophet key. Somebody have been on this show been saying there was a movement to free the prophet. The prophet was free. So we want to find out what's going on. But let's go to the VP. The VP Kun has been on fire from everywhere, including all the newspapers in Liberia. Right this year in particular, they have been asking him to come clean. There have been photographs circulating, videos circulating with the vice president with these for in intimate settings. At one point, he said, "I am a public figure. I take pictures. I don't know any of these folks." Then video shows up that the gentleman he was hanging out with knows him personally, and all of this. So some people are looking at this move he's making to get this drug thing out of the front pages of the paper.
Yeah, Mr. Given, when you have journalists who are dominated by politics, even a health situation will be politicized. The vice president has nothing to do with the drug. The police investigation so far have never mentioned or associated the vice president with any drug issues. And I think he's doing a big boy thing to continue to play it down, because, come on now. Every investigation points to people who are not named whom or count. And all of a sudden, you got one press man. You see, let me tell you one of the things that is giving these people a hard time, and they're really working hard for some kind of attention. Back during the days, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf pretty much legalized corruption in bribery. And, giving them that, how you just give them something to shut their mouth or change the story. And this is, unfortunately for those old journalists, those things are no longer happening in this government. You understand me? Okay, you have to fight for yourself in this situation. So since you're not getting the kind of attention you really want from the government, give them some money to keep them quiet, and the government is not doing that. And JMB has vowed to never do that. And so these guys will find every way to even tie JMB himself to drug, being a drug cartel from Colombia. They will put all kind of accusations. And if I do would just say, I'll leave it with them. So look, we're making too much of this drug issue. And if I sound like this, people say maybe I'm not, I'm somebody who is sounding like I got no conscience. Drug issue will happen. Just when the $19 million plus drug was caught at the airport, similar thing happened immediately in South Africa. The whole nation of South Africa is not consumed by that one drug bust. But we are so less busy in Liberia to the point where we do not even allow the authorities to carry out their function. The LDEA, the Liberian National Police, the NSA, these are some of their functions. And the drugs were busted. Investigation is ongoing. People have been charged. One or two have been put behind bars. Let us wait for the end of this thing at the simpler focus on other things. There are problems at the airport. There are some problems even with the road connectivities right now. There are problems with goods and services. We forget everything for a whole month, and we're going to do this for a whole year and just focus on one thing. And the president is not doing that. He's going to talk. He's going to other places. He's having his bilateral arrangements and trilateral arrangements. He's not going to focus on 19 million drugs. That's what the opposition wants. They want the sitting government to get distracted and not to fulfill the issues or the things, the promises that they've made. So the government will keep focused, completely focused, tunnel vision focused to what it had promised the Liberian people to achieve in a certain given time. And that's what's going to happen. Leave the drug thing alone. Let's get other things.
Dr. Booty, I think this is the worst retort I have ever heard. This is a man who was on this particular platform 2 years ago saying George Weah was inputting Kush.
I didn't say that.
The Kush were taking over the country. The young people were dying. The president was inputting drug. Now he said drug in Liberia, we should leave it alone because South Africa got drug, United States got drug, Ghana got drug, Nigeria had drug. Leave it alone. Let's connect the country. Let's do road connectivity. They want ambassador, they would say they make a draft face. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, the thing is, look, I'm not surprised that Mr. Kamara will. First of all, welcome, Mr. Kamara. I'm not surprised that he will come and read a monologue that sounds as boring as it is off the topic, right? Because you asked him a question simply about the attempt by the vice president to build peace with another member of his country.
That wasn't the question.
That was the question we're on.
He asked me about drugs. He asked me.
He didn't ask about. He said that no. He made mention to the fact.
Made a point. I know what the man.
You interrupted me.
Please don't interrupt the brother.
Then you can allow me while sitting on radio.
And then you can come afterwards.
You have your time.
And today I even welcome you, Mr. Gavin. Today I welcome you. I said welcome, Ali Kamara.
But you spoil it by starting to allow me.
He got it for the interior. You don't be good to them. I told you don't be nice to these people.
I welcome you today. I said welcome, Mr. Kamara. No. Listen, look. I think you were off topic. Obviously, you are a propaganda machine for the GMC
Dr. Booty, you didn't ask Salum Baba. Welcome, Salum Baba.
Yeah.
No, but Mr. Gamer say from Guinea, so me I get confused. I don't know which country to align him with.
He's from ECOWAS.
So anyway, Mr. Kamara, let me leave them to no. I think if a section of the Liberian population are again okay, let's just bring it back because I think the four of you live in the United States. I live in the UK, and in every society, there are issues that people are interested in, right? For example, one of our former MPs died recently, and it was a murder, right? So some people are interested in that. I came on here when Mr. Gaiman asked the question. I'm interested in Lindsey Graham, right? The fact that he died this morning. Someone else is interested, Mr. Dokpa, for example, is interested more in Liberia. It's like, oh, leave me with that Lindsey Graham thing. So we all have interest. Those are us who have interest in drugs and the negative impact it's having on our young people. We will keep talking about it. How does talking about something prevent investigators from conducting their investigation, Mr. Kamara? I don't understand. Because right now we're talking about the death of our former MP here, and the police is still going on their investigation. They just arrested someone, and not far from where I live. I don't know him, by the way, Mr. Kamara. Before you start telling people I know the man, but the point is, the society is huge. Liberia is not a small, well, it is a small country, but there are different facets of the society. We all have things that we're interested in. I'm interested in the drug issue because I believe the young people are being let down by this government. I believe that the IG, for example, and all of the other individuals, the NSA director and others, had to be hauled into the Senate before any arrest was made. Not only that, but they announced, apparently, that's what I read, they announced at the hearing that, oh yeah, we've got some suspects that we're going to go and arrest. And people are saying, but whoa, how would you announce the thing when you arrest the people? You're basically giving them a heads up to leave the country. Now, I heard I was reading yesterday, one of them is in China on some conference. Do you think he's going to come back now? He knows that his name's out there to be arrested. I'm reading the Guardian newspaper here in the UK this morning. No, he's not going to come back, right? And those who have the means to escape will escape. So they're doing the investigation in a very poor way. It's not giving us the confidence in what they're doing. It suggests to us that they are playing fast and loose with the future of young people. Because if you do not do this right, all right, and Mr. Gaiman has mentioned it on the show, the only reason why they were able to bust is because somebody didn't get their little something they supposed to get to let the thing slide. Right. So it's not like, oh, the police went and they were having sniffer dogs around and identified that, oh, there's drugs here. No, someone was supposed to get their kickback. They didn't get it. They blow the alarm. So at the end of the day, you are asking me to let go something that wouldn't have happened if someone hadn't done what they did. How much drugs do we know have left Liberia? How much of it is staying in Liberia? Right. And these are things that the police is not doing. One of your guys came out recently and said, oh, there are no more ghettos in Liberia. Like, really? No more ghettos in the whole Liberia? Like, no areas that people can go to do drugs, young people, no more in Liberia? Like, really? And you want me to not talk about it when these guys are playing fast and loose? They're treating it like a non-issue when it is a major problem. It's linked to crime. It's linked to premature deaths. It's linked to economic burden on our country because these young people that are supposed to be working and being productive and paying taxes are dying and wayward. And you said, no, yeah, leave it. JMP went Turkey. Where he come from with Turkey? He didn't even bring Turkey when he came from Turkey. So what we coming to talk about from Turkey? Anyway, Mr. Gaiman, let me rest there.
Thank you. Mr. Gaiman, I can take 10 seconds?
Mr. Gaiman, can I interject 1 minute, please?
1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Listen, we are going to sidestep most of our topics today because there's a lot going on that we need to opine on. After this, we are going to the release of Prophet Key, and after Prophet Key, we had the trending issue now in the Liberian community in the diaspora. There is a young man by the name of Robert Bangura that have been arrested by ICE to be deported to Liberia. There's a trend now in this community that Liberians who don't like other Liberians are calling ICE on them. We will talk about it briefly before going to our topic. Yeah, you say you wanted 10 seconds, Mr. Kamara.
Yeah, Mr. Gilman, let me just cover the man on some issues. He's a very good twister. So he takes your words, he twists them just for points. He wants to get some points on you. I'm not saying leave the drug issue. I'm saying let us not allow the drug issue to cover every other significant things that we should be advocating for. I'm telling you that the Freeport of Monrovia is still more expensive than any Freeport in West Africa. You don't care about that. The drug thing has happened. Whatever the police will do, the police will do. It doesn't matter you talk from now to China, go underground. The police will not change the way they're doing their job. So I'm not saying leave it, you can't touch it, but we can spend 2 hours of the show on a drug thing that's been going on for 1 whole month. There are other things in Liberia. Do we still have children who are not being able to eat 3 square meals a day? What is the cost? What is the remedy? What are other social things that are in the country that are affecting the Liberian people? We can't just take one thing because it's politically expedient and just focus on it every week. That's what I'm saying.
Excellent. Mr. Ali Kamara. Well, Mr. Ali Kamara, coming to you, Mr. Talk about Mr. Ali Kamara for your information. This is why we are here. We are here to make sure that the issues are resolved. If you thought by delaying this thing, we would drop it, not at all. We would not
No,
drop
no,
it.
you must also ignore it, not just delay. Ignore
Oh yeah,
it.
yeah. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But guys, let's move on. Let me start with Mr. Tukba on this one. Mr. Tukba, Prophet Key, the legendary Prophet Key was free, and he gave a press statement. He says from now on, he has become pious. He has seen the light. He's not going to curse anymore. That was the condition on which he was released. Your take on his First Amendment right, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and the court's abrupt and deliberate denial of his constitutional right because of who he is. Your take on Prophet Key?
Well, I think it is the right of every man under the laws to protect themselves by the constitutions. What do I mean? You must be respected of the law, not because the law gave you the respect to live freely and talk freely, so you just become a nuisance to society. Society also has right. So where your right as ends, there was somebody else's right starts. And you cannot just be in a society that is very much respectful of women or people that are your sisters, mother, and just talk so loosely. So also it's also government responsibility to make sure that there be check and balance on our moral conduct and how we behave ourselves in society. But far quickly, what I wanted to say was that everything Mr. Aliyu said, we all cannot be government or policy implementer, but we can hold government to account the economic issue, the free people. You and I cannot manage everywhere at the same time. So we trust people to be our leader, and the government also go about to look among different citizens, different criteria to say you're going to operate this. So if the operations are not benefiting the citizen economically, politically, socially, health-wise, we're going to hold government to account. So it's a good thing. And those who have the mind to make sure that we show and speak enlightenment on our society, it is our conscious duty to also do it, our moral right to also and speak on those things. So Prophet King going to jail, he have seen it that nobody can just talk loosely on other people, like Ali just said. Allegations are not facts until it's proven to be fact under the law. We can all sit there and allege anybody because we feel we don't like them, because we feel it's politically prudent. That is not the place. But the law has to quantify those things and say, because of X, Y, Z, the facts must be available. So your statement, if it doesn't have the fact to be proven, then also you allow it to the crown of the law. Thank you.
We are saying here, we are talking about freedom of speech. We are talking about the Constitution. We are talking about, Mr. Toba, real quick, I know you said that it is the government's job to regulate good behavior. If so, which government? Because this government, when they were in opposition, they brought him in and he became a pillar of the media thing and the strategist team. At the time, was it right to be morally astute?
That is the level of deception we see in our society among stakeholders or actors. When a person is doing what you appreciate, they are good. And if they do the same thing that they were good for and they turn around against you, they become bad. Take, for example, Yeke. I'm not a supporter of him and I don't like the way he speaks, but he spoke for them before. And the same thing Prophet King was in Morocco, throwing cars. He came to Morovia and he was healed for being saying what he said. And so today he's saying it against them is against the law. But what I'm saying from the moral standpoint, because nobody can just pass from one corner to another and look at people through discussion like what we're doing and start saying things that does not warrant the discussion. That is the point I'm saying. But I'm not saying the Constitution should ban him for saying things that make sense respectfully.
Great. Let me go to Honorable Nami. Prophet Key and the Republic of Liberia, the president said he needs power If it causes him to dance with the devil, he will do so. So he brought Prophet Key on to curse President Weah's mother, his wife, his family, and every other woman, and they were cheering him on. They came to power. Prophet Key brought them to power. They invited him to the inauguration and all of that. All of a sudden
That
now,
guy's a bad guy.
they now want to be they want to be the moral police.
But I don't even know, is your reporting correct? Because by my calculation, February of 2026, it should not be out till August. So I don't know whether Justin Opa Yezan is out of jail, but you know, and I know my position has been unpopular here, but that's my position. I understand the Constitution guarantees, you know, all of us the right to speech. You know, you can, but there is a certain amount of responsibility that goes with your speech. Yeah, do I feel that the sentence, you know, the amount of time they gave him were excessive? Yes, and that was within his purview, you know, to challenge it, you know, get his lawyer to challenge it. He didn't do that. But I disagree with the amount of expression, even the Yeka Kulba and all of these people. You know, you got to refine your speech. You know, because the Constitution gives you the right to speak, you just get up and say things, you know, about people in the fashion in which they do. You know, I think Yezon is going to have difficulties when he comes out because that's his trade. That's his premium. You know, it's a shock job. You know, that's how he attracts, you know, attention and subscription and all of that. So, but it was one of the conditions of his, you know, release that when he comes out, yes, he should be as holier than the Pope, you know, and go and scrub his mouth, you know, find other topics and get more interesting, you know, get creative, you know, take the garbage out of your mouth, you know, get out of the waters, you know, and come out and let's talk politics, you know. And so, yes, they used him when we was in power. He tried to suck it back to them. They told him, heck no, you're not bringing that here. And they give it to him. That's how I see it. So now I know my friends that they will inbox me and all of that. Yeah, I have not abdicated my position on our individual liberties and our rights of speech. But I really believe that, you know, there's a certain amount of responsibility. I disagree with his speech entirely. Prophet Key, I disagree. It doesn't matter peddling soft porn. You know he's been showing clips of people having sex and all of that. Where does he get that from? What is that supposed to mean to anybody? And like it or not, there are a lot of kids who follow this man. People listen to him. You know, you see our society today is breaking down. You know, I was just coming on here, some 13-year-old girl, her mom got her out of the club and whipping her in the street. You know, these are some of these people are responsible for this, the you know, more the impurity, the morality breakdown that we're experiencing in society. He's an influencer and a huge one at that. I think he should turn this into something positive. Do some good. I mean, that's my position. If he comes out of jail, well, you know, good for him. We'll be watching to see what he's going to say or how he's going to behave.
Great. Your name and where you calling from?
Garabu.
My name is Mariah. I'm calling from Dallas, Texas, and I'm commonly known as Let the Children Play.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon to everybody on this show. I've never come on this show to focus on Liberia, but it broke my heart. Coming from Liberia, I went to bury my child. It broke my heart, Mr. Gable, looking at our country. When I was a child, I knew how I played. And it broke my heart to see this generation down in the dumper, in the quarters, eating in the dumper, in the street, dying every day. The whole country is upside down. There's no law and order. Our nation is slipping out of our hand. The foreigners are overtaking the entire nation, buying all the land, building all the houses, owning all the property. When they don't open, then the whole country is shut down. The hospitals are down. We, the poor people, homes are breaking. Our children come from school and you can't see the house where you born in and stay in for 30, 40 years. They just break it down for no reason. People die from stress. The country is terrible. People are dying from hunger, starvation, no job. There's a Liberia that I know as a child that I used to play, that even when two children fight, the taxi driver would get down to hold their hand and ask them, where you're staying? The police would stop and say, where you're staying, let me carry you to your parents. Liberians are divided. There's no peace in our nation. Politicians have divided the nation. Our nation is sleeping on our head. Arabs are overtaking in our bushes. They are digging diamond, digging gold. Liberia is not a poor country, but a war. The side effect after the war is affecting the young children. I'm 74 years. I was born in Liberia, 1952, July 24. I knew the nation when I was a child. That's why I created this program, Let the Children Play. But the children are not playing anymore. The children are dying, Mr. Game. Our nation is down. Liberia used to be that nation that they call small America. There is no more Liberia anymore. The politicians have divided the people of Liberia. Our nation has no more good record. Investors are not coming. Our old lady died before me. I offered her a bag of rice. I got her broom. She used to go pick up bags to face broom. But this day, this old lady gave her, I met her UN Drive. In the market side, I said, take the bag of rice. The old lady started holding the light pole. And she said, no, I don't want no rice. I'm going home. I said, where are you going? She said, oh, I live in Sunny Wing. She refused to show. The next day, when we got up on the media, the old lady was laying right in front of the barracks, dead in the house. I had to carry a blanket to call her. It's bad, it's bad. You take it or you leave it.
Thank you.
The government is not paying attention to the children. They beat the children when they protest. The child in uniform, and you say they're shooting, speak. The people are suppressing the people in this nation. Liberia is not the Liberia that you know, Mr. Gable, that we used to play. Every parent knew one another. The community, everybody knew one another. Children knew one another names. But now the community divided. Liberians are against one another because of politics. They are misleading the people and suppressing them.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It sounds very personal and touching. This is what we have been talking about.
Am I done to speak, eh?
Excuse me. It is not
I
about.
will go after you, no problem.
We're not going to hold it anyway.
Listen, guys, it is not about. It is not about partisan. It's not about politics. We are talking about real people, real human beings. People are being affected. Just go to Liberia, go to your neighborhood where you grew up and see how the folks are living. Go and see the promises have been made by politicians. They come and they go. In the interior, where they come from, they get elected, they move to Monrovia and get stuck. They don't even go back. This is what Mother Nelson is talking about. It is not about partisan. It's not about who's in power. It is the people.
We want to get one more hour level.
Listen, that's why we are here. An hour, you talk your own, and then we'll go from there. I know you got your Joseph Boaga talking point. We'll let you to talk as much as you can, and then the other folks will come and do what they have to do. Yes, but Mr. Kamara, Mr. Prophet Key is out. Listen to his interview. He says he asked for pardon. His behavior is going to change. Are we regulating good behavior now in Liberia?
First of all, let's clarify certain things. We're not going to jump over that thing that the lady displayed here a few minutes ago. We need to make some clarity on that. If the 1952 up to 2026, let's say 2024 was better, Then we're talking about, you talk to my mom, let her also tell you about the hot tax. How to grab a pie and tie it knee and pull 2 sticks, so put 2 sticks and tie it on the PP on his head. She will give you those stories. She will also give you those stories of them shooting over 200 Liberians and killing them in 1979. And from her accent, I understand where she's coming from. And it's just so sad that she will destroy the image of the country so badly because some of their people can no longer get to power. Look, don't be misled, Mr. Gilman. We know what this is all about. There are no people dropping in the street in Liberia dying. You know the fact. You know that's true. We understand there are economic crises in Liberia. We understand people are not living up to their potential in Liberia, but it wasn't better during the time that she's talking about either, because we saw children on dumper. Mind you now, Mr. Gilman, I don't know about you. You grew up in America. We saw people go on the dumper to pick up good things from on the dumper. Abidjan supermarket, A to Z supermarket, wherever they used to dump that stuff. Some all went there to pick up stuff. And those are the days that she's talking about. So there's nothing about those days that are better than this day. We can chronicle many, many things that makes this day better than yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Budi got access to internet. He's sitting here and people watching him around the world. If Budi had gone to ERWA or ERBC and talk some of the things to talk here, by the time he get out of the radio station, he'll be dead. So let's not fool ourselves here. Like Liberia is not insecure. Liberia, the law and order hasn't broken down in Liberia. Do we have more work to do? Yes, we do. But a lot of things that lady displayed here was dishonesty. And I just wanted to say that. Now with the Prophet Key issue, look, for me, Prophet Key should have still been over there. But anyway, all power to him. But what the Liberian people must understand is that everything has to be associated with Unity Party or Joseph Bakai. They supported Prophet Key against John Weah. When Prophet Key do it to them, they love Prophet Key. Who are the them we're talking about here? If we must stick to the fact as they are, it was Justice Bisi that went after Prophet Key. Justice Bisi is not from the Unity Party. It was the Supreme Court that went after Prophet Key.
He's not. Oh, I thought he was from.
No, he's not.
Oh,
he's not from the MPP. I mean, Unity Party. He has no association with the Unity Party. In fact, George Weah made Judge Bisi one of the judges at the Supreme Court. It was George Weah, not UP. So sometimes we got to distinguish these things. Let's separate the two. And individual action does not have to be an entire government action. You can go ahead and go after me, Budi.
He doesn't mean going not let next. He want you to go after him, go after the juggler.
All right, I will come after you, Mr. Kamara, because I think it's very distasteful of you to dismiss someone's personal experience, right? She again, like I know Mr. Game jokes sometimes, but I'm starting to believe that you are not really from Liberia, right? Because if you were, you will understand that there are different counties in Liberia. There are different districts in those counties. There are different towns and cities in those counties. So the fact that you grew up in a place where you did certain things doesn't mean that someone did not grow up in a place where they did something else. So you can't just dismiss her personal experience. And let me apologize, Mr. Gibbon. What's the lady's name again, please?
Miss Mariah Nelson.
That is total nonsense. That is disrespectful to the call.
Mr. Kamara,
you shouldn't be rude on the show.
No, you're being rude right now.
You can't apologize. Who told you to apologize for me?
Go on mute.
We have no reason to apologize for me.
Guys, listen, we don't want to be mute to you. Let me handle this. Go ahead, Mr. Kamara.
No,
I was on the floor.
Yeah. Excuse me.
No, but if you try to disrespect me, I'll respond to him. You should not apologize for me.
Dr. Budi, go ahead.
Okay. So, my Nelson, on behalf of On Point, excluding Mr. Kamara, because I wasn't going to apologize for him personally, interrupted, which was very rude. I wouldn't
You're
apologize.
You're always rude. You're the rudest person on the show. Act like you know it all.
Can I, Mr. Gideon,
go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Ms. Nelson, on behalf of the rest of us, we're sorry that your feelings, your experiences, your personal experiences were dismissed as they were. It's not how we behave on this show. The rest of us are very respectful of people. We disagree with people, but we do it in a respectful way. So please don't take it as how we behave on here. I know it's your first time engaging. Don't allow the experience to put you off. Please continue to engage with the show, and we will appreciate hearing from you again in the future, especially. And thank you for the work that you're doing in Liberia as well, right? Because we need everyone to contribute. Look, Mr. Gaiman, on the Prophet Key situation, you know what we said, right? The Constitution is clear. Article 20 of the Constitution affords every Liberian due process, right? Every Liberian must be given due process. I know we disagreed, Mr. Nangwe and I continue to disagree with him because the issue here is not that Prophet Key shouldn't face the full weight of the law. It's the manner in which the law was applied. That's the issue. The Chief Justice, right, the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia is an appellate court. They cannot go and take up cases, right? They cannot prosecute someone, right? That you can't try a criminal case. It's not a trial court. It's an appellate court. The case has to go to a lower court. A lower court has to rule on it, and then someone has to appeal. And then the Supreme Court judge that person on constitutional matters only. That's all the Supreme Court is there to do. Interpret the Constitution as per the cases that are brought before. Nobody, right? Nobody took a case to a lower court, convicted Prophet Key, or he was acquitted, and then they said, we will go appeal at the Supreme Court. No, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court decided that he was going to break the law. He was going to violate the constitutional rights of an individual. Again, I don't like the fact that Prophet Key, I don't watch his programs. I've never watched. People send me those things, I just delete them because I don't like that kind of behavior. That is not how any human being should go about politics, right? We can disagree, we can be loud, we can scream, but we have to be respectful as best as we can. Cussing, insulting women, people's mother, that's unacceptable. That one I can agree with Mr. Nangbe on. But you cannot say because the baboon ugly, then we just beat a baboon like that. No, a baboon do nothing, don't beat it, right? Mr. Nangbe's point is, oh, well, say he cussing, yeah, there was a violation of the law, but it's okay because he ruled. So that we can violate. If we keep doing that, then we're going to drag our country back into the same things that we had between 1980 and 2003, where everybody is doing tit for tat. You punch me, I punch you back. You slap me, I slap you back. We don't want our country to go back to that. So when these things are done, we have to speak about it on the merit. The issue here is Prophet Key should have never gone to prison. The case should have never gone to the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice had the right to sue him in civil court. He said this man defamed him. Sue the man in civil court. That's what the court said, and he should know better. But for Liberians to sit there, and I saw a lot of prominent Liberians on social media saying, well, yeah, it's good for him. It's protecting women. It had nothing to do with protecting women. It was about the accusation that the Chief Justice was corrupt, that the Supreme Court was corrupt. That's why they went after him. It had nothing to do with cussing women. People cussing women all around Liberia every day, right? What, they will go after everybody that cussed women? No. So, no, it was wrong. The fact that he's free is not something to dance and shout about. Unfortunately, he had to apologize. That was part of the stipulations of the order that you're going to go to jail for a period of time. When you come out, you have to offer a public apology, and he's done that. But this was a complete violation of his human rights, violation of his constitutional rights, and no Liberian who believes in the rule of law should applaud the Supreme Court for doing that. Prophet Key is wrong in his actions. He should have gone to court, but he should have been a civil court. He lost that case. There's a lot of money he has to pay. That would have taught him a lesson not to go and lie on people again. But you lying on somebody is not criminal. That's a civil matter, right? And our country is in a complete, and we're applauding these kind of things. It's very worrying, Mr. Gaiman.
Thank you. Let me go to Mr. Togba. Mr. Togba, Prophet Key is out. The public is not even divided. We are clear on the fact that his right were violated. It's like what we call in America bait and switch. By allowing him, boosting him up to be cursing folks and doing some of the vile things. And then once he gets to the level where the snake is about to eat his baby, then you got to kill it. This is where we are coming from. First of all, the Supreme Court did not give him the due process. Secondly, the crime for which he was indicted, which is whatever they call that, the maximum punishment is 30 days in jail. Instead, they make that 6 months. That in itself is another violation of his constitutional right. Go ahead, sir.
Well, thank you. I think everything that law has done is completely in violation because before you go to court, there must be charges leveled against you on which the law would deduce or have more acumen to prosecute you. And those things were never done. So the rule of law in Liberia is for certain people to face justice on the perceptions of the authority, but not on the basis of the law. And so I certainly agree with many of the panel or every Liberian who has said his constitutional right were violated. Indeed, it was violated because even if you kill somebody, like I'll take for example, prolific Johnson, it was ever killed, all right, that they have to look at the scene, reconstruct the scene to make sure that they're not just taking because they have to take in. While it's true you have to be personal interest, but there will be charges level against you to give the judge a basis of acumen how to prosecute under the law. And, so I certainly agree, and I want to waste most of our time on this. But if you can just borrow me a few minutes to just pick back on the drugs issue. Right now, since we came back from church, so the whole yesterday, my wife have not been in good mood because her younger brother died on the 12th of my daughter. My daughter's right here behind me on the bed. So today we could not celebrate because she lost her brother on the 12th of our daughter's birthday when we were at the park. So the joy have an impact. If things does not have impact on you, do not disabuse people feeling. And that is very much uncivilized. That is very much unacceptable in our society, in our point of discussion. You talk what you have to talk and listen to people. Hold your emotion, and we give the moderator time to give a lot of time to discuss issue because we cannot go into everything like you already said. We can spend most of our time. But when people say what is affecting them, you have to respect them. Nobody going to make a story because of what you want to hear or you don't want to hear. Thank you, Mr. Gaiman.
Thank you very much. Mr. David Jackson said he's watching from Providence, Rhode Island. Mr. Samuel Hollywood, he said that idiot need to be in jail until he learn how to live among decent people. African H48B said Liberia is the most expensive underdeveloped country in the world. Absolutely. That one I agree with you. To live in Liberia, Mr. Nambi will tell you he was paying $1,000 a week to have a little comfort and security. It's not cheap to live in Liberia, but yes, let me go back to Mr. Kamara. Mr. Kamara, let's go back to the subject matter here. We have had a lot going on in the Republic that we need to talk about. Let's talk about quickly. The Japanese government in the release this week said that the government of Liberia is filthy. In no uncertain terms, they said that their past investment in the country have not been cared for or maintained. They are skeptical that $16 million that they are about to do before Gibraltar Tucker Bridge to Valtown, whatever that is, they are skeptical that the government is capable of maintenance, of maintaining the investment.
All right, Mr. Gibbon. First of all, let me just say, there is no record of people walking in Monrovia Street and just dropping and dying. Everything that we heard here.
Sir, I'm talking about the road.
But let me speak. Allow me to speak.
We are on a Japanese.
I'm coming there. Allow me to speak. We should be free to speak. You're just not talking for Prophet Key. The man who insults women, you're talking for him. The man who trying to tell you that Liberia is being misrepresented, and you want to fight him. There are no people. I'm not saying somebody not dying in Liberia. People die everywhere. And it's unfortunate. People are not just walking in Liberia, dropping and dying from starvation. That is not true. Now, and nobody should use me to make themselves look good. Because everybody got their minds in their own lips here to speak what they want to say. Now, you talking about Monrovia being dirty? Yes. I've always advocated for the city mayor, whether it's Peaceville or whether it's Monrovia, I've always said these guys need to be changed. I've said that the people who work in this government, they need to be changed. Shafa doesn't know what to do. He's cleaning the city manually. He has to create systems. The city mayor of Pittsville, he believes that once the people come with the trash and dump it and he go and remove the trash, that means no other trash will go there again. What he doesn't understand is the people have nowhere to put their trash. They will bring it back there. Instead of just the common sense, let's go to China, get giant dumpsters, and come and put them in these locations. And these locations are hot spots. They refuse to do so. But it is true. It is not just the Japan Freeway. It is not just, I mean, it's all over. Liberian government has a history of not being able to maintain the things that they have. They can't even maintain the cars they buy for themselves. So that is an issue that needs to be addressed. And I embrace these kinds of issues because they are real issues. But we can't just chuckle out the facts and just come and deal with emotions. Thank you.
Victor, several years ago, there was a gentleman from the EU that said Monrovia was the dirtiest city on George Weah, and Aliu Kamara was on this platform with several people in the opposition, and they were placarding the photos everywhere and saying, "You see, we told you the job is too much for the man; he can't do it. The job is too big for him; he can't do it. The city is dirty. We are going to what the man said. No car will be stuck on any major highway in the first 90 days.
100 days again?
And I mean it. And today he says another international partner that have invested a lot is saying, this is terrible.
The guy you're talking about, he was not just anybody. He was the EU ambassador to Liberia.
That's correct.
Laurent de la House, I believe that was his name. And he was at a solid waste management forum when he made this pronouncement. But he was saying something that we already knew. I mean, Monrovia is a filth, and that is a fact. You know, it is just that us getting upset with Trump for telling us Africa is a shithole country. That is a fact. You can't blame the person for describing what they see. You know, under President Weah, Jefferson Koji, who was the mayor, he was clueless. He had absolutely no knowledge of how to clean up the city. And he was more of a small boy unit commander under the equivalent of small boy unit commander under Charles Taylor than he was the city mayor. You know, he wasn't cleaning the city. There was a time he was asking people whether they expected him to get up and go out in the street and clean the city. Well, hey, yes, that is your job. You got to lead by example. Under Ellen Johnson, this is a problem. We've had Fanta here on several different forums for Fanta Kamara, you know, narrating her story on how they attempted to keep the city clean and how she was stiffed by Ellen Johnson and the team, you know. So the filth in Monrovia is a problem, but it is not insolvable. It is a problem that can be solved. I agree with Kamara here on the count that, you know, the most of the males are reacting to the effect. You know, it's a cause and effect. You gotta first tackle the cause. You have to give people trash bins along the side. We talked about this before. I understand, you know, the canisters they left by the wayside, people were stealing them. And so we suggested, I think it was on the very show, then use, you know, the concrete one or bolt them to the ground some way. But you need to provide these people, you know, somewhere to toss the trash when they're walking around the street. That's one. You need sensitization. When you and I were coming out, you know, Francis Popo Bleedy, I think he was, you know, the roadways to health, they had all kinds of sanitation, you know, program why you shouldn't defecate when you are, you know, at the top of the river, you know, why you shouldn't wash it. All of those things that keep you healthy, how to treat your trash and all of that. When was the last time you ever seen Siafa on the air talking about cleaning the city? You know, I mean, they have ELBC. Fargon is using it like his private talk channel. That's the medium that he can use to get out there or engage the young people. He has to find a way to motivate people in keeping the city clean. It's not enough to, you know, the people drop it and you go and pick it up. Of course, you wear yourself out. you have to engage them so they will stop dropping the trash in the streets. And then like Amara is saying, yeah, you do that, you sensitize them, then you have to give them the option where to put the trash, and then you have to also incentivize it some way, maybe give out a award or something. You have to do something. But the way they're doing it right now, it's unsustainable. They can't keep up, And so the Japanese are right. And you and I think we on this trip, I'm not sure we drove together, but I've driven on the Japanese highway several times, You got the market women all along the road. People actually take trash from their houses and bring them on the road and dump them by the roadside, How kind of mentality is that? But most of our people don't know any better. We have to come in and educate them why it is important. You understand me? To gather your trash, put them somewhere, and then the collection. They have to put in garbage collection system. I don't know if they have the means, but I'm almost certain if the mayor wrote a grant proposal or something, I think he would get funding for this. You gotta set up a collection system like they do here in the States. Sometimes some of the area they collect the debt twice a week, Mondays, and you have to do that. Then you can go to the market women and appeal to them, again, sensitize them and encourage them. Some maybe revenue sharing where they can help you also keep the place. It can be done. It can be done, but I think the way we're doing it, it makes it daunting and makes it seem like an impossible task. And I think maybe our city government people need a little bit more training on how to handle the situation. But I will agree with the Japanese. They put a lot of money into their investment in Liberia, and we seem incapable of maintaining. Why would encourage them to want to get more? So I hope Mr. Kamara, since he's in the president's kitchen cabinet, I hope he will let them know, the mayor, so that they can find a better way to keep the city clean. You and I were in Monrovia, Jerome, and several times, we're walking around, you hold your little dirt, until you find somewhere to put it, because you've been conditioned to do that. Our people have to be brought to that level. I think somewhere here we're talking about a game, wanting to ease yourself. You're in the street, there's nowhere to go and pee. It's a cascading problem. Then you go talk about water business. Some of the places you go there, nowhere to flood. It's a whole host of. But again, this is what governance is about. It's not a child's job. And then again, if you're camping for it for 12 years, and then you also serve another 12 years, we expect you already are aware of the problem. You come in, and yet, even your staunchest talking head sitting here on the show is agreeing with us that you failed. You try on the uncleaning of the city, but you're not making it. That's what Mr. Kamara said. He just said that. Kamara said you're not making it. I mean, yeah, good.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me go to Mr. Tokwa. Mr. Tokwa, most of the time, in fact, in one of our chat room yesterday, a member of the group, they say, you administrative vice president, you don't do this, you don't do that. The Liberian government have reached out to me several times to help in the past administration and administration prior. And I made a proposal. They came over here to me, and they were introduced to Waste Pro, the largest waste management company in the world. We toured their system. We told the folks, this is how it is done. This is what they would need. This is blah, blah, blah. Made all that. I took them from here. We went to Liberia. They toured the sites. They did everything and left the proposal. Then the group called later on and said, we have a grant of $300,000. We want to build a site. And the gentleman said, are you serious? The schematics, the drawing of a dump site in Liberia that we have identified is $3 million to actually do the drawing and the schematics. So how in the world are you going to come up with $300,000 to do what? So here we are. They say you guys want to criticize all the time. You don't give any suggestion, no solution to the problem. You give solution, and nobody wants to take it seriously. You take on another country telling another country, another sovereign state that you are dirty.
Yes, it sounds disrespectful, shameful, but it is what it is. First and foremost, you must have a budgetary planning. You must have a long-term maintenance program for every project being given to you through grant or whatever means they have given it. We should not wait until those infrastructures are tearing apart before. So it costs it to a design. But if you have a budget that's expecting wear and tear maintenance is ongoing, then it become easier. And it's just a kind of a pattern for Liberia where every time you want someone to do almost everything for you. So the question would be, what do we do with our taxpayer money? What do we do with other funding that we have for national development? How do we, account for what we should be doing for ourselves? Because it's just unacceptable, honestly, that another country would take their country taxpayer money to help you, and they'll help her being, going down the trash or the drain. When they started building the road, what Liberian government should be doing, put money or budgetary allotment for maintenance, for sustainability, for long-term, program for the road. So Marua was not initially built for the population that she has today. So how do we design a plan that will fit the accommodation that we have right now? So if we have like 4 sites in Central Marua around City Hall for garbage collection, it should be increased by the size. And like Mr. Nangwe said, we should look at the date of collections. LMA also in those localities, they have huge tender of waste pile there. How do you dispose of those things? I know of one area in the Wentan area around the Bonafan or Karatan Highway where the old telecom used to be. I don't know how useful it is today, but there are so many things that we need to do as people in government, because the government is the primary actor for the people, making sure that when you appoint somebody, make sure that they can do what you appoint them to do. It's not just about looking at the monetary aspect or reward for yourself. You will have reward at the end of the day of your service or productivity. But what do you have to show as a legacy during your administration, during your tenure? This is what you did. And it's so saddening also that many of us will come on different platforms and think that it's about comparing negative aspect of one administration to the next thing. We have come to power or to office to make a change. So it's not about because somebody did wrong, so you also have to do the wrong thing. You have to correct those wrong. Correct it so society can have greater benefit, and also people know this is how government function. But it also boils down to poor governance in our society. People do not take account of their leadership, take account of the responsibility until there is a huge disaster or uncontrollable means of making sure that what they should have done in a limited time become a year or even years to complete. So I'm not surprised at the Japan government. If someone is helping you in our setting, and say when someone help you to scrub your stomach, you must scrub your back or scrub your back. When they're helping you on your back, your stomach should be done. But if someone can put in maybe 15, $20 million in your country to benefit your people, because goods and services is very important. How do you get it from one point to another? You must have accessible road, good road that can be applied for, make sure that time is properly managed. In this kind of world that we live in, connectivity is very important. But if you would sit there and just let it be because you're saying, oh, it was not done under my administration, I can do better than this, Liberia will never go anywhere. We but take blame because government is continuity. It's not just because when you come, you're going to start from zero. You have other things. But the blueprint that you look at those ones which are durable and not durable, and how can you complete them and make sure that those basic services are provided to the people. We talk about pit. We don't have any way you can ease yourself when you walk down from foreign ministry or from the executive marshal all the way down to Broad Street, or from there all the way to ELA Junction. You have to ask people cannot stand behind your house. This is insane for a kind of country that we have, a kind of country we want to live in tomorrow. And see our children go back and visit where we came from. And every time you enter Liberia, is in a deplorable condition instead of being and having physically change your attitude, change your environment. Everybody in power want to show that they have the more authority and they can do whatever they want to do, and the people without and hold them accountable.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now talking trash. Because when they came to Florida and we toured Waste Pro, the gentleman told them the money you are spending, it is basically an investment because you will be selling the trash back to China or other developed countries to make your money back. So the site is not only a dump site, but it's a recyclable where they separate the garbage, tins, plastics, cardboard, you name it. And they all have different markets that will buy the glass, that will buy the cardboard, that will buy the metal. And they sell this back to the developed countries, and they buy it from them. So you make your money back. The dump site, the way they build it, they build it in a way that something like a mat they build from underground that helps you to capture the gases, which they also use for money. So they did all of these things that Liberia could really be benefiting in a major way. But they had no interest because these folks do not do kickback. They don't do any of those things. So it went in this year, it went the other way. So let's talk. Let me go to Dr. Booty. You close on this one, so we'll go to the last piece.
Yeah, no, I think you nailed most of the points. I think one of the things I would want to touch on is vision. I think the lack of vision from our people or leaders is hampering the opportunities that we could. So if we take the example of the investors that you introduced to the Liberian government, like you said, if we had the vision that, look, if we invest in this, it is going to create the jobs that we need for our young people, or some of the jobs that we need for our young people. So they have to go in there, separate trash to make sure things are clean before they get recycled. It will create opportunities to sell things to China, which is foreign exchange. Brings more foreign currency into our foreign exchange budget. But also, all of these people who will be working will pay more taxes to the Liberian government, right? So the Liberian government will be able to generate more revenue that they can use for other developmental projects, right? Like agriculture, like we were talking about last week, like education and health, like we've talked about on many other occasions. So, but it's the lack of vision, right? Like you said, is people see. I think one of the things that that really worries me about Liberia and by extension, some African countries in general, is this short-term view that we take on absolutely everything we do, right? It's always about, I was writing a report this week, or last week actually, for an organization here in the UK on the suicide rates amongst men. And one of the criticism that I put in the report is that politicians are focused on short-term wins, right? Political wins. Like, oh, if we do this thing and this gimmick and we come up with this big policy idea, people will say, wow, this government is doing a great job. Look at the kind of policy idea. But they don't think about the long-term trajectory, right? What is it going to achieve over the long term? Is there enough money in it? Or is it just the funfair around it to blind the Liberian people, for example? Like, oh, look at it. So there are always missed opportunities, right? Always missed opportunities with our governments. And I'm hoping that we'll talk briefly on the president's trip to Turkey so that we can address that. But in this particular waste issue, I think Mr. Kamara is right, that the individuals, as the evidence suggests, are not capable of doing the job. They need help. The government needs help. They need to reach out to people like yourself and others who have the connections to put them in touch with individuals that can come in and make an industry out of recycling waste, right? Make an industry out of recycling waste that can employ young people whilst cleaning our country, making our communities healthier, and hopefully expanding or extending our life expectancy. Because I believe that the stench and the rubbish that are all over the place create a lot of, from my public health background, create a lot of public health issues with drinking water and things like cholera and things like what's it called, malaria and other things that are killing our people. When you turn this thing into an industry, we kill a lot of birds with the one stone, right? Create jobs, raise income for the government, clean the streets to reduce health problems, as well as grow our foreign exchange. So it's a win-win for a lot of groups and sectors in Liberia that the government needs to apply vision to.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming down to crunch time. Let's go to this one. We talk about, and I think it makes sense for us to actually have Liberians talk about the issues that are actually affecting us. One is, hopefully we can go through this one real quick. Should lawmakers be called honorable men and women? Is there somewhere that I got a copy of the Constitution here? I've been reading it. I have not seen it codified anywhere where a lawmaker should be called Article 1.22 or 1.23, where they should be called honorable men and women. There's a debate growing in Liberia where one group is being led by the laureate Bowie. She says the title should be earned and not conferred. And those in the House and the Senate said, no matter what is it we do, when we are elected, that position, that title is conferred upon us. We are honorable. If you don't call us honorable, we can call you for contempt. So let me start with Mr. Kamara on this one. Mr. Kamara, are all elected officers honorable?
No, but let me just say there's something, and I'm sorry, just 10 seconds of my time. One of our viewers wrote a statement over there that's very important to me. And it says, he said, or she, I don't know what it was, but Liberia is the most expensive underdeveloped country that he's ever been to. And this is true. And my problem with that is it is artificial. The problem is artificial, it's resolvable. Just from NPA alone, that problem can be handled. And giving more support to subsistence farmers in many different, and I've seen a lot of work go on, but I think it's dragging and it's moving too slowly. But back to your question, Mr. Gilman. I don't know why I always call you Gilman. Gilman.
There you go.
Yeah, you're a gay man. Okay, so listen, those guys, I think they're just too less busy sometimes to be tossing over the frivolous things like on the cattle. Why do you need cattle? Like JMB always said, and I love that, Papi. And so you don't need to pay for lobbyists. And I was around. He said your work should speak for itself. If your work can speak for itself.
Wait, JMB said that?
Yes.
And they're paying lobbyists $100,000.
But again, there are lots of news that can come from Liberia, and your champion is Spoon. And most of the time, we can find it with the comments. There are many things that your information man Spoon can come our way that is not on the president's desk. So I'm not saying he's not paying anybody 100,000. But if you compare 9 million to 100,000 that some people were paying a few years ago, then that kind of lobbyist, that kind of arrangement is not a serious arrangement, because most of these guys don't set up for 100,000, they set up for millions. But there are no evidence from the Ministry of State where the government has an agenda to pay lobbyists. JMPC, the work must speak for itself. That's what he said. You don't speak with too many words. He gave 2 or 3 parables, and he's done with that. So those guys in the House, Mr. Gibman, I think that place is one of our problems. And constitutionally, President Bugger cannot disband that place. But I think I need some kind of guy who will be president one day in the near future who will just look at that place, just and grumble and say, I can't pay you. We need to disband this place. And let's go to the Supreme Court. Fight them. Somebody needs to make the guy strong. All right? I just look and tell you, he spends about $1,000 every month on his farm, paying LEC bill. $1,000. When most Liberians cannot pay $25 a month for that little light bill. And it's a small thing for Edwin Snow, that the kind of man want to be called honorable. You get free car twice a year. Not twice a year, I'm sorry, twice in your term, or 3 times. For the 9 years you'll be there. 3 times you get 3 brand new vehicles. I'm talking a vehicle of comfort in any society. You get that. And you know why they get that? Because they're supposed to get them $50 per day for their transport fare. So they just decide, don't get all the $50, round it up until after 3 years, they get all one car for $45,000. Because that's what it's amount.
I just wanted to show that to Mr. Cameron. I'll take it up in a moment.
This, my eyes not good. I can't read that thing.
Okay, we'll read it for you. Is it Worker Administration hired Trump Link lobby firm for $1.2 million a year? So I know you can't read it, but it is right there.
But I'm telling you now, I'm not in a position to dispute it. But I'm not to dispute it. I'm not in a position to say.
You just said.
Listen to me now. Let me reiterate what I said.
No, go ahead.
No. Let me reiterate what I said. I'm on the floor. I said a lot of the time, some of the information we can get from your man Spoon, they're not on the president's.
But this is a very investigative.
And I am saying,
that's Spoon. That's a newspaper. What are you talking about?
But you're winner. We have seen a lot of things on the newspaper that wasn't true.
This guy.
Okay, but again, I'm saying. Again,
Aliu, I told you government hard to defend. Why you keep doing this?
Yeah, government will be hard to defend if I can't learn. You didn't let me learn. Say how to defend. Well,
I'm going to inform you that you are being shot in Fagon doing less than what you're doing and getting paid more than what you're getting. You got a red time and tell people to pay you more. Now, how are you doing?
Y'all go to Tupa. I don't know if you can even speak.
No, we want to stay with you.
You want to stay with me?
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying to you is, I'm not in a position to emphatically reject what you said. What I am saying is, I take it with a grain of salt. Not everything.
So what did you mean by spoon?
I'm coming.
What did you mean by spoon?
Mr. Kamara.
Yes.
You tie yourself into a knot.
Not everything that is written is true. Okay? And until I actually investigate and find
I know. Not everything is written is true. Because one day you have Aliu and then the next day you're valid.
But Mr. Kemper, this is why I said I'm not running away anymore. I ran away from tough talking Thursday from people like Buri then. I ran away from Friday night debate from some other guys who only come for me. I have ran away from On Point a couple of times. Now I just decided I will be spontaneous and I'll be. I ain't running away no more.
Okay, guys. 1 minute. Your name, where you calling from? Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
You should call me. Also, your name, where you calling from? I'm a regular caller.
So call regularly then.
Well, my name is Calabo Gongo. Usually I call from the state of Pennsylvania, but today I'm calling from Fender, Louisiana, Liberia.
Go ahead.
I came to Liberia about a week ago, and I'm sure some of you have seen my Facebook posting.
Yes.
I just want to make a little contribution. You guys are talking about trash and issue bordering on governance and all of it. But I just want to share with the public and the panelists the experience I got. Unfortunate experience for that matter, I should emphasize.
Of course.
I had 10 extended family members who were going on Tuesday to my farm along the Bowman corridor to help me plant cassava. And unfortunately for them, they were involved in a very, very, I would say, nobody died, but it was a very bad accident. Because actually got smashed, like tree fell on it, because it kind of somersaulted, But so I took these folks, they took them to Bowman Hospital, and we paid some money. They got treated partially. But Bowman Hospital has no scanner, no X-ray machine, so they have to transfer to the GSK Trauma Center. But we paid Bowman, discharge them with more. A lot of tablets we should pay for. we got a GFK Trauma Center, and they have the referrals from Boma Hospital for each of them. Well, Liberia have no one trauma center, and that's GFK. Even when you are in Cleveland, Maryland, if it is a serious accident thing, they bring you to GFK. So that's the only trauma center in the entire country. So we got there, and no beds because the place is small. So they had the children sitting on the bench. At least they were lucky to have bench. Because some people who came later, they didn't even have bench. They were still sitting in the car outside. So in fact, one person remained in Keke outside and died because there was no bed and no doctor to attend to them. So, but I went to the doctor and I said, I see you guys moving around. These folks were discharged with medication from bone marrows, which is a Ministry of Health facility. It's not private hospital. It's a government hospital. GFK is a government hospital. And they came with referral. I said, they asked them to eat something and then take the other medicine in the evening. So can I get them something to eat so they can take the medicine? GFK doctor said they can't allow medicine from all the hospital to be taken in their facility. I said, okay. But they are in pain. These are folks, some of them took 6 stitches. Some of them have big cuts on their head. That's what we brought them so they can do CT scan, X-ray on the chest and all that stuff. And they are not doing that. I pay for all that. And they're sitting now. I'm in that hospital up to 12 midnight. Nothing was done. They didn't give them medication. These children are crying with pain. And the painkiller that they should take, the hospital cannot allow them to take. 9 o'clock in the morning, when I called, I came back home when I called, my son was crying that he's dying with a pain. They have not given him no medication because he sat on that bench all night. Imagine the accident happened 10 in the morning on Bowman's Road. Almost 10 o'clock the next day to almost 24 hours, GFK has not allowed them to take medication that they were discharged. So I called a few friends. I said, look, I think the police, GFK will put police on me. When I leave, when I arrive at GFK, my son is crying, I will give him the medication to take. You know, and a couple of friends tried calling, they said doctors are making right and no one. So I got there. When I got there, they have brought 9 drip to hand on them to give them medication. That was the 10:24 a.m. 24 hours before they put something on them. Okay? So for me, I went to the doctor and I said, is there any policy in the healthcare delivery that one government facility, I will assume that all of you get medicine supply from government, reliable sources. Why will you not allow medicine from a government facility to be administered in your facility when, in fact, these medicines are listed on the referral? So for me, I see that as one of the big problem in this country, because it's not political, people don't talk about. I mean, people are dying unnecessarily because everybody just, there's no coordination in the healthcare delivery. Hospitals should talk to each other. I mean, if I go to my doctor in the US, if I have all the prescription and look at it and say, okay, continue to take the other prescription, we add new one to it, or discontinue this one and take this one. But it will not completely discount the oral medication. And I'll end on this. The thing I discovered is I've got all these medications in the healthcare system. These are medicine from India or maybe China. I brought in this country with Motrin. I brought Motrin with me. And that Motrin, I brought it for someone else who was involved in motorbike accident. And my wife sent it for her nephew. I got here and those children were involved in that accident. Because of that pain, I said, you know what? Let me just take the Motrin. I gave them 2. When they took it, they said, Daddy, the pain stopped. And that's the OTC Motrin, not even prescription one. I tell the guy, I want to Walmart and bought it. I bought it, right? So it points to the efficacy of the medication that is even in the healthcare industry here. How can an over-the-counter medication from the US be so effective? Every single morning, the children are in the house with me, how they pain, yeah, the medicine you brought out, our medicine is very effective. As soon as we take it, the pain stop. So they stopped taking the one from Bon Mines and GFK. I just wanted to share this experience. We've been hearing, but this was my experience. And GFK is disorganized, Gilman. I took more than 9,000 steps because if they want you to do X-ray, the doctor will give you a paper. You go to the X-ray room, then they put a price on it. You move from it, you go to another window, then they give you a bill. You go to another window to pay. Then you come buy the payment receipt to the other window. Then they give you receipt. Then you take that one, you go. Every step on the payment, they do it 2 times. And they need that, and they write manually. So the people take a minimum 10 minutes to just fill in one short form. So as a result, they have unnecessary queues. This is 21st century. They're not even producing computer receipts. Emergency section, trauma center should be fast. This country is dying, but our leaders and policymakers do not know it. I just wanted to share this with the public and with the panelists. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Wow. This is Mr. Gonglo. Mr. Gonglo.
I'll give my time to Mr. Kamara. I want you to respond.
Yeah, but I didn't even finish my own turn. The first thing.
Yeah. Listen, I find this to be. I think Mr. Wallo needs to come on here and actually give Kamara a backup.
Let me address this thing quick, Mr. Gibson.
Yeah, you need to me now. I feel bad, like.
Yeah, I know what you want to do. Let me just address this thing quick, Mr. Gibson. What Kenebu Gonglo say here, it's not an isolated thing when it comes to Liberia. Why is it for time immemorial families over here will send transportation or plane fare or whatsoever for their family member who's sick in Liberia seriously to go to Ghana for treatment? This is not new. And these are some of the weaknesses of our administrations. People who are having titles, they sit way up there, they can barely come down to supervise their supervisors. If you're not touching the system and you're making the system more technical, because from what I just heard, I think the administration that is trying to curtail corruption, the ability for an employee to have the chance to take anything, whether it's drug, whether it's medication, but you can do that through a simple or single software system on a computer. It's just one click. F2, F6 will take you to where it's supposed to be. The person name is in there. They get an electronic receipt. There is no way somebody else will go and change that. You don't have to have 4 steps to implement one issue. It can be all in one. It's simple. It's elementary. And then, but these are, remember I made a video when I came from Liberia in April. All right. If you LEC, I went to LEC compound both sides, water side, and they want to get a 0.4, and I also went to the double road location, and all of their substation on the Ralphie Highway because I live right there, and I just saw some things that anybody who at least had straight 12th grade education could make better than the way I saw them. There was no organization. There was no system put in place. If there was a system in place, then nobody's enforcing that system because nobody is coming down. We criticize the government on these things, and I want us to keep pounding on these things because these are the little things that makes the country better. Everybody look at Joseph Boakai and the vice president. You jumping over the real issues. The real issue here is somebody not knowing that by dumping trash in the street and go sell roasted cassava, buy the trash, they fly from that trash can, put on the cassava, and the person who eats it gets sick. You will not take care of that one day. Only Joseph Boakai, and that means you're not helping the people. That means you're only on politics. You don't really care about the people. For those of you who say, oh, not Liberian, this is how we see things. And immigrants are usually the ones who actually build countries. So if I'm not a Liberian and I'm a Liberian immigrant, use my knowledge and take the good out of whatever I say, throw the nonsense away, and stop attacking my person.
It's Orena. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Let me close because I think
yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think on the point that Mr. Kamara made, I'm just going to say first and foremost, we will blame the president and the vice president because they're the one that set the policy agendas, right? The president should be aware that we have public health concerns in Liberia. He should be aware that if his understudies or his administrators are not reporting to him on what is going on in the system, how they're working to address it, then he has a problem. He's the leader. He should set the agenda. Say, look, we need to promote public health. We need to promote clean cities. So here is your target, right? That all of us who run organizations or run departments, that's what we do. We set targets for each of our direct reports. This is what you need to do to solve this problem. This is what you need to do to solve the problem. And then regularly you meet with them. So, okay, have you done this? Have you done that? It's over 3 years. And you say that the person who you train to us on this show doesn't know anything, right? You say the people didn't know what they're doing. We're going to infinite agree. And then you expect them now, instead of us depending on the man who been in government for 500 years, who got all the experience to kind of help these people who ain't know nothing to do something, you said, no, we should go back to the people and put the burden on them to set the public health agenda. It's not the technocrats. It's not the health ministry. No. It is the common man in the street that is not educated. They should be the ones that set the public health. That's just so disingenuous, and I don't even know what else to say. But look, it's been a great show, Mr. Gaiman. We've touched on a lot of things. Mr. Tukba, nice meeting you on here. Hopefully we'll see you again next Sunday. Mr. Nangwe, we disagree on the Prophet Key situation, but I think on most things we agree. And Mr. Kamara, I think for some reason there were a couple of things that we agreed on today. But yeah, we will be back next week, Mr.
I still want 10 seconds though, Mr. Jimmy.
I'll go on when you give me a 10 seconds.
The man took my whole statement, twisted it around completely.
Thank you, everyone, and thanks to our listeners for watching.
Thank you so much, and nice seeing you too.
Talk about them defending you yet. Talk about you told him.
Thank you.
Everything I say, I tell you around.
Listen, you will get your chance to close.
Okay, no problem.
So talk about, go ahead and do your closing. It's after 6. Thank you
very
much.
It was a great show, great interactions, and I look forward to many of these kind of discussion. Mr. Kamara, I think you create the issue for yourself, and you're not looking at the issues and providing ways that we can enhance our governance system and system put in place to work for us. We should have audit system for other institutions to identify problems, enhance the efficiencies of our institutional working. And so if the president appoints someone to become administrator and the minister appoints somebody recommended, then we have tested and know that they can do exactly what they're supposed to do. So this is why he has cabinet meeting. Every time he calls for cabinet meeting, it's a review those working. What happened the first cabinet meeting and what happening now, what is being executed, and how can we do what we're supposed to do and what is not done. And so the problem here is not just the people, it's the people who govern the people. The policy implementer, the policy holder are the problem to our society. And how do we move away from these things? Is making sure that reports are executed. You can't get paid people for being a minister. You can't pay people for being director when they're not doing anything. It's a leakage into our economy. We have to change the trajectory of governing our society. We have to make sure we put competence at the top of what we do. It is so sad every time I hear more people come to discuss and thinking the negative is what better than the positive. It doesn't matter. No Liberian should leave Liberia at any point in time to go to Ghana or Sierra Leone because we do not have the capacity or no one's making the effort. So the only option those who can afford is to take the people or send them to Ghana. And it's sad because that is a capital flag that could be used to provide other things to enhance the economic viability of our country, and it's sad we have to be going to Ghana, India. Do you know how much capital flies going to those countries? You know how much data we put into the economy because of things that we have done differently to help our society, to make sure that citizens are very much productive to be able to contribute to the economy. So everything is forced right on government because government have to set a standard that the people have to follow. So if I can set standard in my home and if anything goes wrong, who do I go to for judgment? It's the government. But if the government not judge me for who I am or for the crime that I've been committed, but looking outside that is not necessary because you were there, you did it, so I can do it, That is what hurt in Liberia the most. And so we have to change the narrative, look at the issue and not the person. So if the person is there, cannot do what they're supposed to do, then of course your name will be called several times or 1 million times, because we want Liberia to be better for everyone. We want Liberia to be better for generations that have not come, and we have to set a page, and no better time to set a page than what we do now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tugba. We look forward to seeing you again. It is quite informative to come out here and debate the issues. Mr. Nangwe, take us home.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gamer, Mr. Towa, again, welcome, and thanks to Mr. Kamara and Dr. Budi, they left, but thanks also for our audience for joining us. You know, I think we discussed quite a number of things, and so I'll just highlight the fact that you know, we talked about the vice president and Mr. Pei. I think that's a good thing. I hope, you know, it is what we think it is, you know. But I want to quickly pass off here. The CMC is calling attention. I think there are efforts underway by the legislature, and I'm assuming here the rescue legislature. You know, there was this call to add additional seats, you know, to the legislature, you know, the additional seats, I think about 14 or 16 seats or so. And we're sounding the alarm that if they do that, that is going to be outside of the law. There are procedural steps to be taken to do that. First, there has to be a census. That census report has to go to the legislature. The legislature then will have to set a threshold and give that to the Elections Commission to demarcate. And now the law also provides that we do not go beyond a certain limit. I think about 100 or so seats in the House. So we're just reminding our colleagues, you know, that if they're serious, they have to wait until the next census. I think the last census was 2022. President Weah, I think, did not conduct the last census, which should have been done because that is a legal requirement. So we're reminding the lawmakers, any attempt to do that now without, because that census, there is also a time limit. Immediately after the census, there are stipulations of when the announcement is supposed to be made. It is really couched into the Constitution, you know, but we think people are just trying to get up nitty-willy and go ahead and add new seats, and that is unconstitutional. So we're sounding the warning. People have to be careful about this. And so I just wanted to re-echo that. Statement has been put out by the CMC on that. So I didn't share that, but it's on the political leaders Musa Assembly's page. But thank you, great show tonight. It's been great being with you.
Yeah, well, as for the the census, I know I participated in the census in 2022, where the census were taken and they were submitted to the House.
That's right.
That I know. So I know the reason I was against it is because if we have a marginal budget as it is, to add another 19 or 20 lawmakers, that's another $10-15 million. That's
another way. That's another way. Or you could increase the threshold. I think right now it's about 20,000 or so per, you know, or you can increase the number of people who will make up the district instead of adding more seats.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Kamara.
Okay, so thank you again. It has been a great show. This is my first time seeing you talk about.
Well, I thought it meant close already.
No, I didn't.
He forgot he closed.
He had me for a reason. He had me for a reason because he didn't want me to run away early. So
wait a minute, I gave you my time and I said speak on my.
No, but that was not the time for closing. Budi was the first person to close. Then talk about and you. Anyway, so the last statement I made that the gentleman twisted for some strange reason. He's a strange guy for all I care. You know, I didn't say that the people in the higher up should not, but you're expecting me to go and see something that is wrong at an LEC center on the Ralphie Highway. I'm going to call Joseph Barker to come down and put in order. Is that what he was really saying? We have the public health. If somebody's supposed to be in Louva County in a bush there, trying to make research on any possible epidemic, you expect Joseph Barker to go. Is Joseph Barker a doctor? Is Joseph Barker an electrician? So I'm talking about those he entrusted with the authority to do this thing. Those are the people he can talk to. And if those people don't come down, then they're not doing their job. That's what I'm saying. They have to come down and supervise their supervisors. That's what I said.
Instead, if the people are not doing their job, then what?
Okay, well, then we can have the conversation. That conversation after I close.
But they're not doing their job now, so let's have that conversation.
No, but I'm closing. Why you closing? You can't just wait and listen. I'll see.
Listen, white guy. I mean, excuse me. I forgot to call. I didn't mean to call you Ali white guy. I'm sorry, but listen.
No, you didn't say you need white guy picking.
Okay, white guy picking from.
But let me finish my closing.
No, I'm just telling you. I have a lot of employees here. If they don't do what they're supposed to do, they don't do the report on time. They don't show up on time. What I do, you get fired.
You know, it's so strange that sometimes you guys know better, even better than me, but you refuse to acknowledge that. And you tell me that's not something where you get over there with 4 employees. You want to compare with the Liberian government or president?
Listen.
So, let me give you
the scope. Let me give you the scope.
No, I don't.
Listen, I'm a small business owner. I got 32. Listen, I got 32 employees. But if you can run a company that has the same structure, you got to do budget, you got to do management, you got to hire, you got to fire, you got to do audit. It goes. Listen, you are
don't know what you're talking about.
You are talking about.
You don't want to audit. You don't want to audit your company. You can do the auditing.
The difference between a small company and the country is that the country is a country that has different departments. Same thing. If you can't manage one, you can't manage one. But the systems are the same.
Mr. Gamer, let me. You're not saying nothing. You say a lot of stuff. You didn't say anything. Okay, what you over there?
I cannot say a lot of stuff. Let me say water. You are a guy who will say water you wet. Okay, go ahead. Water you wet. I agree. Water you wet. Water you wet.
Anything that doesn't agree with him, that nothing.
Yeah, water you wet. I agree. Water you wet. Go ahead.
Let me learn. I'm begging you. That is not smart. I get the 2 employees. That's my whole project. I don't have 2 employees. But let me tell you this. The president is not a technocrat. He could be, but he doesn't have to be a technocrat. He's managing people. He's managing an entire country.
So he's a bad manager.
You know, I'm just telling you that LEC employees alone will topple your people for me. I don't know what the difference would be. Okay? You don't expect the president to go and manage technical agencies when he's not a technocrat and he doesn't specialize in those areas. So we put the country is a country for everybody who are citizens. If the president or whoever the president is give you an assignment, Mr. Gimmer, to do it with all your ability because you're doing it for your own people. But you sit there and slack. By the time the president finished talking to all war leaders and all war international activities and big business in the country crisis, legislative crisis, judiciary crisis, and all of that, whatever he's supposed to, before he's come to you, is already 2 years. It's not that simple. You can't just sit down in Florida and say, because you can pay, you can red pitch, you can sign unpaid stuff, that means you and the president get equal job. You can't do that. You can't do, but let me close by saying, look,
but when you going to close now?
No, but you're not letting me finish one sentence. Let me finish.
You just all over the place.
You people cause that you do it deliberately. But let me tell you this. This is a caveat I want to send. I ran away from Tough Talking Thursday because of being harassed.
Right.
Then I ran away from Friday night debate. Because I'm complaining like a baby, right?
Right.
I have ran away from On Point maybe once or twice, or even more than twice.
Right.
But now that ain't happening no more.
Okay.
I will be proactive and spontaneous. Fire for fire. I ain't going nowhere. So tell those who have this type of thin skin that they can say lies about the government. They can destroy the government, but I don't have the right to defend the government. You can destroy, you're eloquent, you're great. But when I defend it, then I'm a stupid man. I don't know how to read this, that, and the other. I will just close finally by saying Liberia before Liberia before under the settlers is not better than Liberia under the indigenous Liberians. Yes, they're having some struggles in leadership. They're having a struggle in government management, but we are getting there. It is getting better. We will do better, and so help me God. All power to Joseph Jumaboga for a job well done so far.
Mr. Gamer, please 1 minute.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the failures of many government in Liberia, they overlook the Ministry of States for presidential affairs. That Minister of States is a composition of every ministers and people that is and working within different agencies to be able to peruse document, policies, implementations, so they can dissect it and bring it to the president and be able to give him what it's supposed to be. So it means the Ministry of State is not fully capacitated. It's underperforming. So the president will underperform. Because you have to have people who have legislative insight, who have legal mind, who have economic, political, every sector of our country.
That makes sense.
So
wait a minute. Didn't Sam give 500-600 people from the Minister of State?
Amen.
What do you think they were doing?
750. There you go.
Thank you. What do you think they were doing? Reading document.
Howard Cassell will say, Howard Cassell will go, there go Kamara, he's down again. In the left corner, he's down again. Go ahead, Toba.
These were people who were politically accommodated with all having knowledge and insight to do what the ministry is supposed to do. Working with all substance not work. And one thing he just missed is that the size of the company does not take away the ideas of structure, how its organizations is run, is how government is being run. While government on a bigger scale will incorporate people from different backgrounds based on what they can do and what they have done politically to incorporate it. Corporate work is not on political sentiment. It's about making sure that results. So the same mindset of result being delivered in government must be showcased also. Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was great talking to you from Mr. Kamara during the COVID time. I think the federal government gave me like $800,000, close to $1 million to keep the business afloat, to make sure my employees are not laid off, make sure that there were no adverse effects to our local employees, that the employees didn't leave the area going somewhere else to find a job. When time came and the COVID was over, the federal government didn't care whether I had only 33 employees or 1,000 employees. They wanted to make sure that the money was used for the purpose for which it was intended. The audit came. The same audit they did for the state, they did for the county, they did for the city. Same audit. When you are given the task, when you say, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I want to do it, and they give it to you, got to do it. You can't say, oh, I'm a small business, so no. You are going to be held to the same standard as the state. When the state asks for $15 trillion or $1 billion, they say, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. You got to do the X, Y, Z. When the city asks for money, they say, I want to build roads, I want to do this. You got to do it. That's the management. Your job as an administrator is to do quality control and make sure the money is used for what it was intended for. This is what Liberia doesn't have. We don't do quality control. The guy builds a road and they do the thing, and 3 days later, the patch hole all over the place. How is it possible you build a road, the road don't even last a year? So you are about that. But ladies and gentlemen, this is what it is. It's about management, it's about accountability, and we will do it. But as always we say, we are all Liberian, no matter whether you like Mr. Kamara. He's still on the floor somewhere. Whether you like him or not, we are all Liberian. We'll see you next Sunday.
We are Liberian. Liberia is our home. Liberian people.
At Focus on Liberia. We discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.